Hi guys, Chef Anthony here with Don's Appliances. Today I'm going over the Signature Kitchen Suite, the 30-inch all-gas range. Very nice slide and on a professional level. Signature's really taken time and effort to really look at all the details of a slide-in range and really give you the high power and performance. So let's start with the top here. So you have your center griddle pan, which is great. You know, this is pancakes, French toast, this is your grilled cheese, kind of all the necessities you need in a convenient space in a 30-inch. Removable as well, so we take this guy back. You can flip this up. This is ideal for steaks and chicken to get those fancy grill marks and, you know, your restaurant chef quality things. But it can be removed, and now you have your oval fish burner. Notice on all of these burners that they are brass caps, so Signature really took time and effort to add the brass. We find that the brass really helps in heat distribution plus longevity. So, you know, if this was a regular aluminum or a different kind of metal, it'll oxidize, maybe turn colors, but you're gonna see better longevity with the brass. So the center oval is really gonna give you, you know, a high-powered burner, but it's really gonna aid in helping you with those longer pans. You can use that oval fish pan that everyone uses, or, you know, you can heat up things and keep stuff warm. Very good here. Heavy graded racks that I love. You know, once we remove that, we're gonna talk about burner power. So these are gonna be your two high-powered burners right here, and then to my left is gonna be kind of the main ones we're gonna use. Really gonna pump out our high-powered BTUs, while the one on the back left is really gonna be our mid-range burner, probably about 5,000 or 10,000 BTUs less. And then on the far right is really where we're gonna hold our sauces, finish our soups and things like that. That's really gonna be the lowest setting. So it's really gonna give you, you know, high power in the front, medium on the left, and then on that right side, you're really gonna see is gonna be our lowest to kind of finish those soup sauces. Keep that like chocolate sauce and things like that from burning, but keeping it melted, okay? When we look at the controls in the front, we see, you know, great knobs, great buttons, and, you know, a great Signature column right there. So when we talk about this, you're gonna see just, you know, warming drawer lighting, you know, you're gonna see your oven light, your timer, and then your roast probe. Here's really where all the fun happens, okay? So I'm gonna talk about this burner here, or this knob here, excuse me, because this is really gonna go over all the features of the oven. So the first one when I turn it is gonna be our convection bake. And if you look at the icon on the screen, it really shows you exactly what's gonna happen. So the convection fan is gonna fly, and we have our bake element highlighted in red on the bottom. What that's ideal for, in my eyes, you know, and is from the chef and the cooking standpoint, you're gonna bake a cake, you're gonna bake a pie, you're gonna bake a tray of brownies, things like that, because what's gonna happen when we open this oven door, the fan is gonna fly out, and, you know, the fan's right here in the back of the oven. There's all kind of little vents and cuts so that air disperses throughout the cavity. You're gonna have that plus the bake element bringing heat from the bottom. So think about that tray of brownies or that Pyrex pan of brownies that you're gonna have. What it's gonna do is it needs heat from the bottom to really cook, and it needs that convection air to fly all the way through it. Same with a pie, same with a dense cake, things like that. So, you know, think about that convection bake as being a pro performance bake feature, okay? The next one on my list is the convection roast. And, you know, as we highlight it, you know, to our left, it's gonna be all three heat elements. So convection roast is really gonna have that broiler heat coming from the bottom, the bake element coming from the top, or sorry, vice versa. The let's do that one again, because sorry about that.
No, you're fine.
I just messed it up. So our next feature is the convection roast. So what the convection roast is going to do, it's going to have that broiler element on the top, that heat radiating down, with that bake element bringing the heat from the bottom all the way up, and that convection fan flying all the way through. So all three heat sources coming together. This is for larger cuts like our Thanksgiving turkey, our holiday ham, even steaks and roast, things like that. Notice, you know, roast in parentheses. So think about that, heat coming from all sides. That Thanksgiving turkey needs browning on the top, needs heat from the bottom, it needs the convection fan to fly all the way through to make sure it's nice and even, okay? Next is a dedicated pizza setting. And this is super fun because it's really gonna go to about 400 degrees. It's not gonna use the convection, but we are gonna use the top broiler element and the bottom bake element. So picture the broiler element and then that bake element coming together. And now what it's going to do is now it'll add the addition for a pizza stone. So you could add a pizza stone in here when it's cold, preheat it to around 400 degrees, or even just put a sheet pan in there. You could make your pizzas at this setting, you know, or you could do baked Italian hoagies, things like that. Works out really well, and it's a nice convenience and added feature when you get up to this level of range, okay? The next is the warmer. So now that all that amazing food that we just cooked, you know, we don't want it to go cold. You know, if your relatives or your guests are running late, you could turn this full oven into a warming drawer, which is ideal. So now you could hold that food at 170 degrees hot, whether it be the holidays at Thanksgiving turkey. You don't want anything to get cold. Keep the sides in here. I even tell customers, you know, with this fantastic kitchen you have, they're going to want to do hors d'oeuvres. Keep your hors d'oeuvres, keep everything in here nice and hot. It'll work out really well. So you don't have to worry about cold food ever again, okay? Another setting right here is the proof setting. Now, I get this question asked to me, you know, 99% of the time when they have proof setting. What is it really? So any dough doubling in size is proofing. So a yeast raised dough, whether it be a cinnamon roll or a bread dough or something like that, or even frozen bread dough and pizza dough that you thaw out, you know, you have to proof to let rise. So that's it, letting it rise. So what happens in here is the convection fan goes on and it holds it at a controlled temperature, either 85 to 100 degrees, depending on, you know, how cold or warm it is in the room, and it makes that dough double in size. Really easy for you. You can get a cookie sheet, you know, scale out your dough, or get your bread pan out, scale out your dough, and, you know, turn the light on, turn the proof setting on, watch it double in size, and then go right into your baking. So nice and easy, convenience, and it really takes the guesswork out of proofing. You know, a lot of customers ask that. Next, we're going to talk the remote start. So this product is a Wi-Fi capable appliance. So you can download the app, put in the QR code, and really have the remote start. So you can have all of the oven features at your fingertips from your cell phone or your smart tablet device. This is great at monitoring the cooking when you're using a roast probe, checking doneness, checking temperatures. You'll get a text alert, you'll get an email alert, whatever it is, you know, saying, hey, your food's 15 minutes out, or there's 5 minutes left on your timer, things like that. So you can really continuously go about your day. For the customer that, you know, works from home, or the customer that doesn't want to be tied to their range, you know, now wherever you have a Wi-Fi signal, if you're out in the yard playing with your kids, or you're just sitting around watching the ball game, you have the ability to monitor your food from anywhere in the house, which I find amazing. Okay, the next one we're going to talk about these two together. We're going to talk about self-clean and speed clean together. Okay, so the self-clean is your standard self-clean setting. So you know what I mean. It'll run a clean cycle. We have to remove the racks in the self-clean, and it takes anywhere from 2 to 3 hours, depending on, you know, the cycle you set. But all the racks will be removed. You wipe out all the heavy stuff, and it'll run that cycle. It'll lock the oven door like a traditional self-clean would. If we go to the speed clean, which is our next one, it's going to be a 30-minute process. Okay. And what's going to happen there is you're just going to pour some water and some vinegar, equal parts, in the bottom of this range. And when I open the door at the end, you'll see that lip, and I'll cover that. But what's going to happen is it's really going to steam it up, really take off all the heavy stuff. This is a great one to do, and I ask customers to utilize this in the self-clean. If you look at the self-clean, you know, it takes a big wear and tear on your appliances. You know, it takes a long time too, and you know, depending on what you have baked off in there, it might let out some odors and emit some gases, things like that. But the self-clean, the speed clean, is super easy. It's something that, you know, can take 30 minutes or 10 minutes or whatever it is, you know, and it can actually, you know, aid in it. This you can do, you know, once a month, once a week. You know, I feel like it's less invasive and it's a better cleaning cycle for everyday purposes. Okay, great. Next, we're going to talk about the broil. So we have broil low and broil high. What that's going to do is it's going to heat up the broiler element in different levels. So that low broil is probably going to be around 400 degrees, 425 degrees. This is if we want to just cook something and broil it at the same time, okay? The straight broil is going to be 550 degrees. It's going to be high and hot. This is ideal for like a cooked mac and cheese if you just want to brown it off, or onion soup that has cheese on top. You want to melt that out. So that's really the ideal one for that. That low broil is kind of for doing garlic toast and things like that. Something that, you know, can burn very easily if you're not watching it like a hawk. So, all right. Next is our standard bake, okay, and that'll round out, you know, the dial here. So that's just our standard bake 350, no convection, no nothing like that. The only time in these high-powered ovens that I really use the regular bake is if I'm doing like a cheesecake in a water bath, or creme brulees in a water bath, something where I have open liquid in the cavity that I don't want the convection fan sloshing around, making a mess in the product or in the oven. So that's really the only time we use bake, okay? All right, so I'm gonna open the oven door and we're gonna talk about it. So in the oven, let me remove this right here. Here's our continuous glide racks that are great, all right? They lock in place, they are very nice. See the brilliant blue interior, great lighting. This is what I wanted to touch on the self-clean. See all my hands right here? Little tray right here dips down. This is really where we put that liquid in, and the oven's gonna heat up at a low temperature and really steam clean it out. So it'll really just, you know, kind of get that moisture in there, get that vinegar in there, get that water in there, steam clean it out, so you can wipe it out super easy. So, I mean, I am a huge proponent of the easy clean, because A, it's easy and it cleans, all right? Excuse my pun. But other than that, we have a great roast probe setting here, so it's super easy. The probe will plug in right here, and then you'll just put it into your protein and select your desired temperature, and then the oven knows to cook it to that exact setting. Then it'll kick it down to a keep warm so you don't overcook it. I mean, that really, in my eyes, kind of rounds out all these amazing settings. We open this drawer up. This is really where our warmer is. This can hold, you know, 3 Pyrex pans, things like that. Think about this, though, more than just a warming drawer. Think about this for dessert, like apple pie, pumpkin pie, things like that. You want to serve a warm pie? Nothing's easier than popping it in the warming drawer, getting the chill off of it. And for those of you folks that like really hot food, you can put your dinner plates in here as well. Get the chill off them. Serve hot food on a hot plate, which as a chef, I'm a huge proponent of. It has a great lift handle, great look in the interior. This is an all-around winner from Signature Kitchen Suites. I'm going to wrap this video up. Hope you guys enjoy this, and I hope it helps you in cooking on this fantastic range. Thank you.